촬영 들어가겠습니다.
Hello everyone, I'm Peter Bint. What's that? Just one deep breath and my oxygen tax has doubled. Do you think this is totally absurd? An oxygen tax that charges a person simply for taking a breath. Perhaps in the future, it might be taken for granted. Hello again, I'm Peter Bint. Today, let's explore the worldwide efforts to prevent such a future from becoming a reality. Do you know what day September 7th is? It's the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies. Some of you might never have heard of this day before. The International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies was proposed by the Republic of Korea and recognized by the United Nations to promote the protection of clear skies. The original idea for this special day was proposed by the Korean Citizen Policy Participation Group in 2019. Later, in September that year, Korean government introduced a proposal at the UN Climate Action Summit to designate the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies and to encourage cross-border cooperation for improving air quality. As a result, in December 2019, the UN General Assembly officially recognized the day. Since then, the day has been celebrated globally. The International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies serves as a worldwide reminder of the urgent challenge of air pollution and a call to take pragmatic action. Then, since when have our skies become the topic of international discussion? Let's go back to the Industrial Revolution. While industrialization and mass production made our lives much more convenient, they came at a heavy environmental cost. A notable example is the Great Smog that engulfed London in the winter of 1952. Smoke and gases from coal-fired factories and heating combined with air stagnation created a great smog that covered the city for several days, leading to countless deaths from respiratory diseases. The Great Smog was a wake-up call that alerted the world to the dangers of air pollution. It became clear that close international cooperation was necessary to protect the Earth we all share. And so, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change was adopted at the 1992 United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. This landmark convention provided a long-term and structural framework to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and tackle climate change. The UNFCCC has since served as the stepping stone for the annual climate change negotiations that continue to this day. The international community's efforts toward climate action did not stop there. The Kyoto Protocol, adopted in 1997, became a major milestone in climate change response, with its mandate on developed countries to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The Paris Agreement, celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, is also meaningful as it established a new climate regime involving not just developed countries, but all countries worldwide. But even though countries have pledged to limit the global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees C, the reality is that last year it already reached 1.55 degrees. In addition, the Convention on Long-Range Transboundary Air Pollution, the Northeast Asia Clean Air Partnership, and other regional efforts to combat air pollution are also ongoing actively. As the Earth grows hotter and the climate crisis intensifies, which direction are Korea's policies taking? Korea aims to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050, seeking harmonious growth that balances environmental sustainability with economic development. Let's take a look at some of the examples. Korea's shipbuilding industry, which is #1 in the world in new orders, is leading low-carbon mobility technologies and moving toward more environmentally friendly approaches. Moreover, the government is actively supporting companies that practice eco-friendly business. It is also implementing policies that consider both the environment and the economy across multiple fields, such as developing green farming equipment and hybrid fishing vessels. Another headline issue in the technology sector these days is artificial intelligence, or AI. However, AI also presents a new environmental challenge, as its energy consumption can be as massive as its potential. As such, the Korean government is striving to tackle the increasing energy demands of AI, while also exploring ways to utilize artificial intelligence in fighting air pollution and climate change. In addition, Korea is an active contributor to multiple climate funds, such as the Green Climate Fund and the Global Green Growth Institute. It also supports and advises developing countries on environmental policies, proactively involving itself with global efforts to address the climate crisis. Notably, Korea hosts various events around every September 7th to celebrate the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies, a day that originated from the ideas of Korean citizens. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea has hosted the International Forum on Transboundary Air Pollution since 2021. It will hold its 5th forum on September 8th, 2025. The Korean government also organizes eco-friendly events, such as the Racing for Air Challenge, to encourage people to reflect on and act against the climate crisis and air pollution in their daily lives. Around 6 million people die prematurely each year due to air pollution. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel. No, this is what our reality has become. Even now, the Earth continues to grow hotter by the moment. But making small adjustments in our daily lives can help clear our skies. Using public transportation, reducing heating and air conditioning, or even growing small plants can bring a breath of fresh air to our skies. So, let's make a few uncomfortable but necessary changes for the sake of our planet. That is all for today's session. We'll see you next time with more interesting stories about Korea's diplomatic policies. Thank you.